Good morning, folks. It is just after 9 a.m. Central Standard Time on May 20th, 2022. I hope our creator is keeping you well and you safe wherever you are in the world. Please make sure to hit that like button, share this across other platforms so that we can let people know what's going on out in our solar system. If you have to be new to the channel, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell in case we have any critical future updates. We are currently looking at active region sunspot 3014. This was taken from yesterday from a gentleman in Romania. And this is the solar flare that we actually saw, the big M5 that we saw yesterday. This is a zoomed in photo that he had his proper filters on so that he could get a really good view of it. As a matter of fact, this baby is quite large. We'll get into that in a little bit. I just wanted to show you guys another little image of it, of our flare, which, let's be honest, look at that solar canyon. I mean, that's a lot of swirling activity. I really look into this stuff because I enjoy it. I like it. I think it's very interesting to see all the different neat properties of our sun. So, with that being said, let's get on to spaceweatherlive.com, and we're going to notice that we actually had another M flare just earlier this morning, M3.03. Now, the one we just watched was actually this one right here, the M5.6 that we had from yesterday. So that's what our beginning image was. So we had a M3.03, and then we had a bit of a C flare, but guess what? The M flare didn't really kick anything out, but the C flare did. Oh yeah. For those of you who might be new to my channel, we're going to come over here and take a look at solar cycle progression. This right here is our number of sunspots. Okay, here in this purple, this is what was originally predicted. Okay, this is their prediction number. Okay, the red is the new prediction model. So as you can see, we've got a long ways to go. Look at how far off they are. And this right here, if you bring it straight down, only puts us to about right here, where they were projecting we were only going to have maybe 88. Now they're saying we're going to have 234. Well, imagine when we get here, if you take this baby and you go straight up with it, you know, where does it touch? 500? I mean, when does this start to curve over? I mean, up here? 400, 500? Who knows? But this is a difference. This is a combined, so they have a combined. So this is their new projection, this is their old projection, and they're like, this is the combination of the two, which is pointless in my opinion. This right here is our solar cycle progression of radial flux, means this is the amount of X-rays we've actually taken is right here versus what they were expecting us to get for the entire solar cycle. So they were expecting us to have a total of 135.8 total as far as like decibels, and we've already at 130. And we're just getting started. Yippee-ki-yay. Speaking of decibels, we're going to come over to spaceweatherpredictioncenter.noaa.gov, and we are going to take a look here at our deabsorption for how much we have absorbed from that M flare. Here she comes. So it looks like we did have, oh yeah. Yep, we got not quite to 35 decibels. We got to about 34 actually. It's pretty close. It is close. It's really close. But where did it hit? India, Middle East, little bits of Russia, some into Africa, a little bit of Eastern Europe, and some parts into China, Taiwan, and Korea. So there was radio blackouts in those areas. Anytime that we have any kind of an M flare, usually wherever it strikes on the planet, there's going to be some form of radio blackouts. And that's was not super long lasting. It stayed in the C flare range for a little bit and then kind of came back down. And then our C flare is actually right. Oh, was that it? That might have been it. Didn't seem very long. Like that was it. Like that was the big one right there. That little thing right there. And that's what actually gave us a coronal mass ejection, folks. And I will be glad to show that to you. That, I don't know. That could have been the C flare, but I don't think it was, because that was the pop. Yeah, I don't know. That just seems really weird. You can't even detect it. But we'll get to that in a bit. Let's go ahead and come on down, or actually let's go up. Take a look at our ACE mag and sweep ham. We actually seem to be doing pretty good. We just touched below -5 a couple of times. Nothing that I'm really too concerned about. We seem to be holding up pretty well on that end. Of course, Enlil is not going to be caught up. But this is what I wanted to look at. Woo! Look at the size of this sunspot group right here. Yeah, buddy. She is big. Matter of fact, she's so big that they've even said that they've done measurements on it already, and they have said that this thing is a third the distance between us and the moon, which is pretty big. As a matter of fact, it's so big that you can actually see it with the naked eye. Not that you should go out and go looking at the sun, though. What you should do, if you, it's actually cloudy right now, I would actually try and go out with my welding goggles. But that's one of the things that you can do. You can actually, when we get here and you can see the size of it here over at solarham.net, you can actually go get you a pair. These right here, these are the exact pair that I have right here, welding goggles. Guess how much they were? Like $5. Like, no joke, they're not very expensive. I got them at Harbor Freight of all places, and I'm not being sponsored by anybody, and I'm not here to promote anybody. I'm just saying that you can get them just about anywhere, and they're pretty inexpensive for these pair here. In fact, I even have a small scope that that you can use on top of a rifle, and it doesn't have to be very powerful, and you can actually put it right up to the glass here if it'll fit inside, and you can look through it and zoom in on it for yourself if you want. So these right here, and these are also good for looking at solar eclipses. When there's a solar eclipse, you can put these on and you can actually watch the entire solar eclipse through these, and it is green. So, but it's just a little something for y'all to be aware about. Little extra tool in your toolbox, doesn't cost a whole lot. Now back over to spaceweatherpredictioncenter.noaa.gov, it looks like the very front of our solar winds has arrived from that coronal hole, and you can see all the little waves here. So we're just getting into it. It's nothing. It's not a major smack. In fact, you can see the bend here. We're actually doing quite well. We're only at -20 for our bend. Once we start getting back here into 40, yeah, we need to start really paying attention. And possibly even percussion, because that's when we're taking a massive hit. I mean, I've seen it go all the way back here to 50, and we've ventured just fine. So that's just when we know that there's a lot of pressure. This right here is our pressure, okay, from our geomagnetosphere cut planes. This is the pressure on the Earth. Okay, right up here, this is our density, and you can see the density of it. Shows you +4, negative. So we're doing just fine. The white side of the disk here is the sun's facing side, and this is the dark side of the Earth. Alright, so you can see right here where our north and south poles are. This is looking from the east, looking at it, so you can see north and south, and this is looking from along the equatorial plane from the north, looking down. Alright, and as we come over here to ISWO to check out our SDO, we're going to look at 94, and this right here is the M flare that we just had. Oh, look at that. Kind of moved it a little bit. That's the M flare that we actually just had, right there. Now that's the M flare, directly earth facing. Direct hit. You can see the light shadows. You can see the little chatter marks here, and you can see the rays of light going above it and below it. So that is a very good natural flare, and it was an impulsive one. There's nothing building up to it. It just popped. So there's no coronal mass ejection coming from that right now. So this right here, as we can see from when we were looking at our absorption, you know, we had that pop and it looked like it kind of stuck around for a little bit and hung on. That's what that was. But that's not where the actual coronal mass ejection came from. Oh! Hey, look at that. Got ourselves another little friend right here. Zoom. Just breezing on by the sun like it ain't no thing but a chicken wing. So, this is where we actually had our coronal mass ejection. Look at that. So that was just like a teeny little C-flare plop. But it did throw out some stuff with it. So we'll come on over here to our 193, and we will take a look at it on here. And that right there, this was our M flare. And then we can see the C, and as we go on, there it is right there. Nice and clean for us. So we can see there was an eruption. Actually, it looks like there was an eruption right up here too. See this little guy? Now that's not coming at us. This one might affect us a little bit. It looks like it's still kind of going off to the side a little bit. But you got to keep in mind that right here is our coronal hole. So it's blowing the wind out. So this could actually get caught up in that solar wind. So it could kind of snap back around and catch us a little bit on that. And it doesn't seem very concentrated, or it seems very concentrated in one little area. Oh, look at this. Hey there, here's another little guy. How you doing, buddy? How you doing? So we're going to come over here and check it out on the 304. And this is right before our eruption. So we will get up here and take a look at the eruption of our flare right there. Yep, good chatter marks now. Keep your eyes right here. And let's see if we can see good plasma release. Oh yeah, look at that. You see that shadow? See that shadow there? Whoosh. Oh yeah, that's a decent amount of plasma. But it looks like it is going away from us. It's very concentrated in one direction, so I don't think we're going to get any of that unless it happens to get into that solar wind from this coronal hole, and like I said, come back around and get us a little bit that way. But by that time, it will be pretty well spread out. And then, of course, we've got this filament here on the back side of the sun that's also dancing around, making some movements, but none of that really released. A little bit maybe, but not a whole lot, and it's not going to be coming towards us, so we're good in that department. Now, coming on down here to one of my favorites, of course, is the overlay. Ooh, let me bring us back here. There we go, to the 18th. Actually, let me bring it back a little more. We can actually see a little bit more activity going on. And then we'll run her forward. Zoom in a little bit. And we can see our release here. You guys see that? See those releases? Now, there's something I do want to pay attention to, and I want everybody to pay. Ooh, look at that release. You see that? That's really nice. Whew. Just lets her go. Let her rip, Tater Chip. Now, I'm actually bringing you guys to this point for a reason. I want you to pay attention to right here, this little round arc here, and this one here. And you'll notice how you got all these little tornadoes, these little spirals. I'm actually going to zoom right in on here. Something is here and something is here, and it is drawing energy off of the surface of our sun towards those holes, those circles. I don't know what those, but look at that. Do you see that? It's swirling. It is swirling towards whatever object is here. You guys see that? There is something there drawing energy off from our sun. Do you see the vortex? I know you see it. Here, let me move that off of it. But I know you can see the vortex. And it doesn't matter which direction. Oh, okay, yeah, there's our flare right there, which is pretty neat in this angstrom, but I know you see that. I know you see that stuff moving around and getting drawn into that. Look at that. That is completely clear and obvious, especially right here when you see it swirling around like that. Look at that. What the heck is that? And it's doing the same thing over here. Going backwards and then back forward. Something is drawing energy. There are two large objects of some sort. And I mean large because they're bigger than our planet, whatever they are. And they're drawing this energy from the surface of the sun over into these directions. What in the fragnog is that? I don't know. But that's some wild stuff, folks. You got to admit, I don't care who you are. That's nutty. Real nutty. I don't know if anybody can explain what they think that is. That would be great. And as we come over here, we're going to take a look at stereo head chronograph 2 from the science data. Now remember, this is always a couple days behind. And we got some crafts going right here in front of our satellite. We've got 3 more right down here. Group of 3. And of course, we got our space station right here. And then looks like they're over here. They're just kind of moving around. There's quite a bit of activity. Oh, look at this. We got a whole strand of them right here. Lots of activity going on. There they are again. Oh, there's one kind of got right in the way of the satellite right there. Got real close to us. Or to the satellite anyways. I mean, there's 3 more down here. Here they are again here. They're all over the place. Yippee-ki-yay. Took a quick look at our Russian model for our Schumann. We are having some activity in Russia, in Tomsk, Russia, which is where this is the model is based. And we're going to come over here to Italy and we can see, oh, look. Everything appears normal, but not on the geophones. Geophones are sounding off. So once again, look at how compressed these lines are. Again, they're hiding the data. Just like I showed you guys yesterday. Look at these geophones. Geophones are just popping off. And look at this. But, oh, hey, nothing to see here. Operations normal. Okay, Han Solo. And, of course, they wiped all the data, like I showed you guys yesterday. Look at this. Wiped all the data. Come down even further. And it's like, oh, we see the color going on here, but we see it here. But, oh, we had to wipe this. I mean, look at this, folks. Ridiculous. Have a good